I'm ready, buddy. You hear that recording in progress. Here we are. Here, Taveus Hawkins here with my buddy, my friend, my neighborhood pal, my brother from another mother.
There you go.
Eyes on Bucks. We've been watching
Go
those
Bucks.
Buckeyes all season, Michael. And here we are. Can you believe it? We're about to play for a Natty.
I don't think a lot of people believed it after the Michigan game.
You know what? There was a lot of doubters out there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and they were asking for Ryan Day's head.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted his head on a platter, and I'm serious, but I wasn't on that bandwagon. I was very displeased that we lost to Michigan again, just like you.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Mostly in the play calling as well as preparation for that game. It just seemed like they weren't properly prepared.
Didn't it
Now,
though?
now the defense did play a good game. I don't put that on them. I don't put that on them.
I agree.
Because I think what was the score? Was it 13-10? What was the score?
You asked me too fast, man. I should
The
know.
low scoring game,
Yeah,
but they had a chance to win it, tie it, take it to overtime. They had all kind of opportunities, but the offense let the defense down as well as the coaching staff let them down.
yeah. I think you and I both talked about this. We only lost by a field goal,
Mm-hmm.
but we've lost two games this season
Yeah.
because for some reason our field goal kicker could not kick three field goals, 42 yards and less. 42 yards and less. We lost games. And I'm not here to malign any of these players, any of the kids, but Mike, we talked about this. 60,000 students at the Ohio State University. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there are girls on the soccer team that could have kicked those field goals.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, it seemed
here we
like it
are.
does okay indoors, right? So maybe he's the indoor kicker
Maybe it is.
because
And the
he looks
young
fine
man,
indoors.
I tell you, but translating that to the game,
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I highlighted some things that I thought we would discuss this evening. NIL, it's in
Oh yeah.
place.
Oh yeah.
And for many years, I think most of us have wanted to see these young men rewarded for their efforts,
True.
and they're getting rewarded now.
True.
But don't you think there has to be some things in place, some parameters?
Um. Yeah. But I think that's always the case when something changes drastically.
Right,
It takes time to catch up to it, right?
right.
So a lot of people are out here sweating it, and some people are using that excuse to be angry about it and all that. But hey, they said the same thing about Social Security when it came out. Remember that? We weren't around, but if you talk to older people, people said it wouldn't work. It was a crazy idea. Now people love Social Security, don't they?
Don't we?
So sometimes it just takes a while to catch up to do ideas because you wrap your brain around it. People would
Right.
have to sit down and figure it out. Sometimes they got to go in there and redo it a few times and tweak it here, tweak it there. So I don't think the NIL is going to be any different.
Yeah.
Tweak it here, tweak it there. And I think one thing that might help them in going down the road, Tave, is if they can start adding some former players who got NIL and to be part of this talk.
Oh, that's a great idea. I like that. Have
Guys
them
who are actually, yeah,
as advisors, consultants, so that they can help.
exactly.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing so often is that, these young men, they're very generous. Those who are getting
Hmm.
paid, they don't just think about themselves. They're taking care of their teammates. You look at what CJ Stroud has done. Uh,
Right.
they're generous. They're helping their teammates out.
And I haven't heard any squawking, pointing fingers, fighting, backbiting about none of this. The players seem to be fine. It seems like it's the older adults that are having a problem with it, right?
Exactly.
And the players
Exactly.
seem like they got it figured out.
They do.
But I think it's the mindset of the old guard, as they used to say, right? They're used to having things a certain way, and they don't even want to be open to anything else. Change. They don't even want to talk about change. And now, when it's been dumped in their lap because of the courts, because if it wasn't for the courts, we wouldn't be having this conversation about it, right?
No, we wouldn't.
Because they didn't come to the table and ever say, you know what, that's a good idea. You guys need to be paid too. No, they got their lawyers and went to court to try to block all this stuff. So
Yes. And
the
the
court,
Supreme Court, a
yeah, that's what
conservative
I'm saying.
Supreme Court. Yeah, they the one that put this in play. So
So when
it's
you look at it like that, if they go through that measure to try to block it, how can we expect them to want to fix it, right? Because they didn't want it to begin with. So
yeah,
fixing it's going to take time. It's going to be a slow process to figure it out. You just got to be patient. Got to get the right people in there around to make the table a little bit bigger, right?
I agree.
Make
I
that
agree.
table a little bit bigger because right now the NCAA really doesn't have any real power to do anything, so they might as well listen to other people about the best way to move forward. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I like that idea of maybe having some of these student athletes serve as advisors and consultants to help them put together maybe some limitations or restrictions as to what they do and how they do the fun
Hmm.
how they pay these kids because
Right.
all the programs, I don't care if it's tennis or softball, volleyball, they should be getting some benefits too
Right.
from the NIL money, and I'm sure they are in some way, but how is it measured? I hope
Yeah.
it's done fairly.
Because that's going to be, it's not impossible to figure out, but it's going to take more effort because those other sports aren't bringing in the revenue. And so you can't expect them to be paid the same, no more than everybody at a company gets paid the same. Certain people that do highly technical jobs that are going to be paid more than people that do less. So it's just the way life is.
Right.
So far, I haven't heard other sports complaining. Have you?
No, I
I
have
haven't. I
not.
haven't. I
I
haven't.
wondered
So
about that too. I wondered if we would hear of things like that, like,
yeah,
hey, the women's softball team is not getting anything. The swimming club, I don't know.
yeah.
Track
So
and
I haven't. I
field,
haven't. I haven't heard anything out there, but I don't know. But that's something else they got to look at. But
definitely.
here's another thing. I never thought about it this way. They were talking Deion Sanders on a show just the other day, right? He
Hmm.
mentioned the difference between NIL and collective, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I didn't understand it that way. Do you understand the difference between the two?
No. What is
Okay,
the difference?
NIL goes back to the original court case, right? Name, image, and likeness. Going back to the banning, was it the bannings, O'Bannons out of UCLA who filed all
The,
this years
the,
ago?
the basketball players, the O'Bannon, but wow,
O'Bannon
that's going
brothers, yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, said he was watching basketball and they're playing a game and they got his name on the back of the jersey. And he's like, okay, well, oh, that's fine, but what am I getting out of this? And that started this snowball rolling. But name, image, and likeness is mainly where he was explaining it, is mainly for if you have like NBA players or football players, like if you have a contract with Nike or Dunkin' Donut or that's NIL, name, image, and likeness, right? So they're paying you like they would have, like a LeBron James or a Kevin Durant to market their product, like on TV, commercials, right?
Hmm.
You get money for that. Well, that's different than the collective. The collective is all the billionaire, millionaire boosters and all these individuals who put a money in a coffer and they pay the players out of that. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So he was talking about his sons. He was saying his sons get NIL money because they got deals through the NIL money. Where a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the collective players, they're getting paid by, and it makes sense because that's how these collectives can get players to get in the portal and come to Ohio State or Michigan and pay them $5 million. That's not NIL, that's collective money.
That's interesting.
See, that's not for their name, image, and likeness because, they ain't even got to the Ohio State. They ain't got no
They
name,
don't
image,
have
and
a
likeness.
name, image, and likeness yet.
No, they ain't got nothing. So what they're being paid out, they're being paid out of this collective, this cash cow that they decide. They go in there, they pool all this money, and then whoever is over it decides how much each player is worth.
So
So you can actually be getting paid from both of them.
really, so someone like let's say a Tavion St. Clair coming in from Bell Fountain, Ohio, the quarterback, who's
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, he's highly projected to be a real star at Ohio State.
Right.
He would be under the collective. Is that what?
He's under the collective
Hmm.
because he doesn't have a name, image, and likeness.
Other than high school, right? Now, Bryce
He-
Underwood, would he fall in the same situation? Say Bryce Underwood going to Michigan, the quarterback going to Michigan.
oh yeah, he's going to be That's collective money. That's all them rich boosters that put all these millions of dollars in this kitty, and that's how they're getting these
Ah,
kids. That's how they're getting these kids to come to these universities is money from that kitty. That's different than say, somebody a popular thing being sold on TV, right?
mm-hmm.
A popular product that gets their agent, and y'all sign a contract saying that you're going to market their product for this amount of money or for these many commercials, whatever. That's different. That's just like the big boys. That's like NBA, football, chunky soup, that kind of stuff. That's the NIL.
This it's a new day, isn't it? I mean, things
Yeah,
have changed dramatically. I mean, the climate
because
of
I didn't know
college football.
because I didn't know there was a difference. And the way he explained it, there's a big difference.
I didn't either. I want to know more about that. Maybe we could have someone on a podcast to sort of explain all of this to us.
Yeah, so yeah, Dion was still talking to Dion just a couple of days ago, and I'm like, "Oh, you okay, schooling me?" And he was talking
Wow.
about most of the kids on the team don't have NIL; they have collective money. His kids have NIL money because they're marketable.
Because they're Dion's sons,
Yeah, they're marketable. Yeah,
Dion's kids, and Travis Hunter. They've definitely
hmm
made a name for themselves.
yeah,
Let
but
me
you can
ask you
still be
this.
paid. Hmm?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you can still make money, good money, even without the NIL. The NIL is the one that opened the door for all this, right?
Yeah.
Because think about it. Once these schools got sued for NIL using players in these football games, the electronic football games or computer games or Madden type games, then once they did that, they got sued. That's when they start taking names off the jerseys, right? They just put the
Mm.
player, they just use a number back like it was back in the old days. But that actual NIL is not being paid out now because a lot of schools aren't using them like that. They're not marketing you like that unless you're really a special player. They're not marketing all the players that way. Okay, a good example. Uh, what was oh shoot, the receiver we had last year? What's his name that went to the NFL?
Jackson Smith and Jigba, or which
No,
one?
the other one. No, his dad was a Hall of Famer.
Oh, Marvin Harrison.
Okay, Marvin Harrison is a good example with the potato chips, right? Grip with the He got a marketing deal with Grippos with his picture on it on the bag.
Hmm.
So that's not collective money. That's using his name, image, and likeness. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, now Will Howard's got a potato chip. He's on the front of a bag. That's NIL money. That's his using his name, image, and likeness. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay.
A
You
lot of
see
these
the
guys
name?
getting money aren't on no products because they're not name, image, and likeness. They're getting money out of that kitty, out of that collective.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because they're not selling products like that. That's NIL money because now they're using your name, image, and likeness like if you were a professional doing a chunky soup commercial, right?
Amazing. It's a new day. college
It's a new
football.
day, and you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
No.
He's out now.
What about this transfer portal? We sort of touched on that a little bit. Think about that. I'm just throwing this out here.
Mm-hmm.
The scene of college football has certainly changed.
Right.
Has SEC dominance truly ended? Has it ended?
Oh, yeah, it's over. I ain't even gonna hesitate with that. It's over.
You saying that without any hesitation?
Yeah, because I just watched a show. I remember I texted you to tell you to watch the SEC post game. They were fuming. I never seen Paul Feinbaum that upset. He
And
was
what is
making
he
all
upset about?
because they thought Texas should have won. Number one,
Okay,
he was making all kind of excuses, saying Texas had that game, they should have won, and they made mistakes. Well, Ohio State made mistakes too. And see,
absolutely.
if I was sitting there with them, you know, the first thing I'd have told Paul Feinbaum, Texas put the ball on the ground at least 3 times, Paul. So don't tell me that they should have won. Ohio State could have easily got those, recovered those fumbles, and that game would have been a blowout, Taveus.
Wow.
Three fumbles they got back. I mean, how many times does that happen in a football game? You don't usually recover 3 of your own fumbles.
In any event, we're talking about this transfer portal and what's
Mm-hmm.
happened. I mean, with dominance. Now, it's funny. Like I have never ever, and this is the funny thing, when it comes to SEC followers, I've never
Mm-hmm.
said that our conference was better,
Right.
but I always felt that we had quality performers, and I felt like we had players and teams that were just as good. But there was this thing here in the southeastern United States. I live in Atlanta. I mean, that's all you hear.
Right.
The period. We're the best. And I guess everyone wants to be the best. They want to be the GOAT. That's the important individuals. But I
Mm-hmm.
just like good football. We know they play it in the SEC. We certainly respect them. But our brand of football is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no
Little,
doubt.
no
And
doubt.
if you break it down over the last 10 or 15 years, you take Nick Saban away, then they're just like us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Take Nick Saban away. Take all that Alabama victories back to back to backs and all that away. The SEC is not much better than the Midwest or any other conference.
No. And it's cyclical. I mean, you think about there was a time when USC was oh man, lights out. They were dominant.
UCLA, Washington,
Oklahoma. I
yeah,
mean,
Oklahoma, Nebraska,
they're Nebraska, didn't they have a run? They
yeah,
really
they
had
had
a
a
run.
run.
So I try to respect every program, every conference, because there's good players everywhere. I mean, to think about it, a guy like Urlacher, where did he play again? Wasn't it South Dakota?
Somewhere like that, some small school.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they come from everywhere. Good players.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And and we college football fans, we love the fact that they come from everywhere. And I guess the thing that's really made it so wonderful now, the diversity. I mean, we have everybody. I mean, all types of individuals and people in the league, in college football, in the National
Mm-hmm.
Football League. That makes it interesting.
It does. But
But this game
we
coming up against Notre Dame, how do we win it, Mike?
well, they're gonna have to win that game on the ground. That's where it starts at. You got to establish a ground attack, and I think we can. And you got to try to hit big plays because I don't think Notre Dame wants to get into a shootout. They want to keep it a low score and try to get in the fourth quarter because they don't have the firepower. And that's what I would do if I was Marcus Freeman. Just try to eat up clock on the ground and throw when you have to, and try to get in the fourth quarter and hope you can, pull it out.
Yeah.
So they can't afford to let Ohio State jump out on them 21-3 or nothing like that because that's going to take them out of their game.
You know, and it's funny. I don't think Marcus Freeman will be too interested in just, how can I say, just totally taking Jeremiah Smith out of the game. I think maybe that was the downfall of Texas. That may have been a problem. They concentrated so much. And when you shut him totally down, that opens up some other avenues
Yeah, yeah,
for
sure.
our offense, for certain.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. It's Notre Dame's defense has been playing man all year, and the thing about that is it's tough when you've been playing one way now to switch up to another type of defense. It's not that
Mhm.
easy. Even in the NFL, it's not that easy. So they're going to have to play man to man and just live with what they know. And I don't think they can match up man to man because
You may be right.
Carnell Tate's a good player, and pretty much you got to defend the whole field.
You know, Egbuka and exactly Jeremiah Smith, Egbuka, Carnell Tate.
Mm-hmm.
That's some sort of a receiving core,
Yep.
and we're just deep there. Even Brandon Ennis. I mean, this
Oh
guy. I
yeah.
mean,
And
G.
G
Scott,
Scott.
G. Scott. Yeah.
G Scott's made some big plays down the stretch of this run. That play he made to get him in the fourth down was huge on the sideline.
Hmm.
That was a quick out route. G. Scott broke two tackles, and that play should have been stopped for like maybe 2 yards. He got 7 or 8 and left Ohio State with like 4th and 2. And that was one of the biggest plays in that game.
I
That was
really,
all, that was all on extra effort.
yeah, yeah. And something that we've noted too that has really made a difference. Man, that rotation of our defensive front. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's been key. You know, I think there'd been a comparison made between the snaps that JT and Jack had been in on compared to,
Mm-hmm.
say, Georgia or Texas. And we weren't rotating these guys. So that's why we weren't getting the kind of pressure we wanted to get late in games.
Right.
They were tired, they were worn out. Now, I'm glad Coach Day, Coach Larry Johnson, and
Right.
Jim Knowles seem like they've all gotten on the same page when it comes to that defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ryan Day did say he spent more time with the defense this year.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And
So he's
I just, yeah, and I really believe that they finally are maybe on the same page because I think maybe there's a little, how can I say?
a little tension.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
With the
I can
coaches,
see it too.
I think so. Yeah,
And that happens a lot of times when you got strong-minded alpha males. That's natural. That's part of.
sure.
But, Buddy Ryan, them they used to fight and have knocked down him and what's his
Parcell,
name?
yeah,
Yeah, Parcells
that
and
happens.
coach of Chicago Bears back in the day. Them guys didn't like each other. They didn't really care for each other, but they made it work.
Yes,
Mike Dick, that's who I'm trying to think about.
Mike. Yeah.
Them two guys did not get along.
Oh
Everybody know that.
yeah, yeah. They got by it, bro. They got over it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we had to do too. And I think that
Mhm.
was the problem in the Michigan game. I
Yeah.
don't feel our coaches were on the same page.
No, they weren't because we were. Because like I said before, when your offense has too many three and outs, you wear your defense down. And they don't get no rest on the sideline. Because soon as they get over there, grab some Gatorade, grab a towel, it's time to go back in, 3 and out. You need extended drives, and we weren't getting no extended drives by trying to force things.
No, we
And I
weren't.
think I think you could kind of tell that with Jim Knowles' comments, some of them after the game. He stopped short of saying we did our job, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could tell there was some tension, and I get it because the offense has to work with the defense and vice versa. And see, Ryan, and that was a problem with when Ryan Day was the offensive coordinator in the past in big games. He was more concerned about running, getting ahead of everybody, putting a lot of points on the board, and he's wearing his defense down. So he was getting them 48 to 42 games, right? Like
Right,
against
right.
Georgia,
Track meets.
like against Georgia, good example.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, sometimes you score too quick, you hurt yourself.
So true. So very true.
But now with a more balance in the offense, you know, being more dedicated to the run because he got good backs, then that gives the defense a chance to move the chains, get them guys a chance to get over there and catch their breath.
Exactly. Now going into this game, if your
Mm-hmm.
former Buckeye Marcus Freeman, you've lost to us 2 times already in the last, what, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a difficult game.
Oh yeah.
If you're Marcus Freeman, how are you coming at us?
Well, they're going to have to put a pass rush on. They can't let Will Howard sit back there because he's been pretty comfortable these last 4 or 5 games. He hasn't been moved off his spot too many times. The offensive line has really give him time to go through his progressions.
Oh,
So you're going to
accolades
have
to that
to.
offensive line too. They've done a phenomenal job. Pieced together. I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Without 2 All-Americans, without a
Right.
Josh Simmons and McLaughlin come from yeah, from
Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done phenomenal work.
So I look for him to try to put pressure up the middle to try to get Will to get rid of the ball because they don't have to worry about containing him so much because he's not going to roll out and run like some quarterbacks.
So what's your thoughts on Will? I mean, a lot of people saying, well, he's not what we want in a Ohio State quarterback. They feel like
Oh,
maybe he
man,
doesn't have all the
please.
tools.
Well, Will Howard's a leader.
There you
He,
go.
he's game. He's got game. He's gutsy. And the big thing is the team believes in this guy. They believe in him. They're gonna
I
follow him
agree.
over a cliff.
I agree.
And he's if all these people talking this stuff but haven't even looked at his numbers. His numbers are good. He's got some of the best numbers in the country, Taveus. Got some of the best
Indeed.
percentages in the country.
Indeed. And like you said, I
So
think he has that character, those
yeah,
leadership abilities that his teammates are willing to follow.
yeah. And you got to realize he's not going to be C.J. Stroud. You know, and that's what people get caught up in. He's not the same guy. He's not. You don't have the same kind of arm, but he's learned a lot. He gets the ball to where it's supposed to be. He makes real good reads, and every now and then he's going to throw an interception. And hey, we got guys in the Hall of Fame that threw interceptions their whole career
Threw a bunch of them.
because they were trying to push the ball down the field. Yeah, if you're always
Right.
check the ball down. Yeah, you're not going to throw many interceptions, but you're not going to get much out of it either,
Right.
right?
How do you attack our defense? If you're Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, how do you attack the Ohio State defense?
Hmm. That's a good one, man, because they've been playing pretty good football lately. I don't see a whole lot of weakness, especially in the back end. And that's where the Ohio State's strength is in the back end, playing a two deep safety or a single high safety with Caleb Downs. And Caleb Downs has got he's got the green light to do pretty much what he wants back there. He can get in the box. He can be a linebacker. He can be strong. He can be weak safety. You just got to he's all over the field. The fact you got to think about him makes it a problem for you.
This
That
defense is
you got to wonder where he's at all the time. But I don't know how they're going to really attack him because Ohio State's really good against the run. The best thing that they can probably do, Tavius, would be screen passes to the sideline, uh, kind of what Texas did. Will routes to their running backs up the sideline, bubble screens. That's that sort of thing to get them big guys off their spots, right?
right, right.
Because running right at them, they're pretty stout in that middle between Hamilton and Tyleik Williams now.
Oh, they're special, man.
They're pretty stout. That guy that played for Texas said Tyleik Williams was one of the 5 best guys he's ever played against, and
That's
he's an All
special.
American.
That is special. When you think of
He said that dude is hard to move.
and you playing against Georgia and Alabama in the
Yep. He said he's one
SEC.
of the top 5. So they're going to have to attack Ohio State from outside the tackles.
High
'Cause
praise and accolades.
I don't know if they're going to be able to run consistently inside.
Yeah. And I believe some players, I just hope they really, really step up and have the best performances they've had.
Yeah,
In
me
order to
too.
win this, they're gonna have to. We need
Yeah,
that.
they're going to have
Everything
to.
has to be on point. Even
Mm-hmm.
down to our field goal kicker. We may need him. We may need him
Well,
in this game.
he's okay. We're indoors. He'll be all right. He just don't like cold weather
Maybe that's it.
because everything he was kicking is down the middle. He'll be fine.
Mr. Fielding, we believe in you, right? We believe in you. We believe you can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
But if
Sonny Styles, I think about Sonny. I believe in him. I believe he can step up too.
I would like to see it,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Time will tell. But I think we got enough. I don't. And the good thing is, we pretty much got out of that game pretty healthy. Even a couple guys are going to be nicked up.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame got some guys too that nicked up on their offensive line. One of their best tackles is pretty nicked up. He'll probably play. But you know how it is when you're injured, you're not the same person. When your ankles are wrapped up and your knees are wrapped up and
Yeah.
it's not the same. Pushing off all that weight.
Yeah, I really thought JT had a broken ankle or a high ankle
Oh
sprain.
yeah, that looked bad.
That did not look good. He made it
Yeah, that
back
looked
in.
bad. And
Yeah.
Cody bounced back too.
Yeah.
And Denzel's kind of dinged up. They said he had upper body. I don't know what he pulled.
And yeah, he and Iggy, we've had concerns about our corners. I mean, penalties and all that. But one thing that gives me, how can I say, gives me solace, gives me confidence in them. Think about who they play against every day, Mike, in practice.
Yeah, that's right.
They're going against the best receiving core in college football.
Right.
So I think they're going to be equal to that task. I believe they're going to step up their game.
I think they will too, because I think from the first meeting with Oregon till now, I can see a lot of improvement in them guys.
It looked a lot different, didn't it?
Denzel, especially, he's not getting beat like he was before, and he missed a big tackle in that game the other day. But other than that, he's been making some tackles at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I think the problem was that it's his upper extremity, his arms. Maybe he couldn't wrap. That's what happened on that one play when he missed that tackle, I think.
Yeah. See, I don't know what play. Like you said, sometimes you don't even know what play a guy hurt himself on.
Yeah, but Jermaine came in and did an excellent job.
He sure did. Yeah, he played real
Jermaine
good.
Matthews. Yeah, he
Yep.
did. So
And I always forget the kid's name. Number 20 played a lot.
Reese.
Yeah, he was in there a lot.
Yeah.
So that tells
That's
me they
linebacker
trust.
core.
Yeah, they trust.
Yeah, and you know what? Jordan Hancock's not getting enough praise too, playing that slot corner.
Oh, he's still pleased. Yeah.
He's done a tremendous job.
And you know where he's really shined at, Taveus? Is on those blitz packages. That kid is getting to the quarterback.
And you was talking about
Ramsey.
that. You was talking about that.
Yeah.
You said, why are we not blitzing our corners at times?
Because they can get there quicker.
Jim Knowles heard you.
Yeah, because now they both blitzing from both sides. Sometimes they come up the middle with it. So yeah, that's a good thing.
That's good to see.
And Sonny did have a good play. If you remember, he caused a fumble. Texas just got the ball back. But if Ohio State had recovered that fumble, they would have been talking more about Sonny Styles.
Arch Manning's fumble.
No. What you call his fumble? No, Quinn Ewers fumbled in the backfield. Sonny Styles caused it.
Ah.
And the ball bounced away. Tyleek Williams, one of them, saw it at the last minute, but a lineman jumped on it. But Sonny Styles caused it.
Ah. I thought that was Arch Manning in for one play.
No, that was another play. Arch Manning, that was the play down the sideline on the sweep. No, this was in the pocket. Quinn Ewers was in the pocket when Sonny, when you go chance, when you go back, look at the game,
I will do
you'll
that.
see it. It was in the
Okay.
pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Sonny Styles, JT, and a couple others was around him, and Sonny grabbed him and spun him around, and the ball flew out. But they
I
got
was
that one back.
I was screaming and hollering so much I missed that, you know.
Yeah, Paul Feinbaum, that's another one they recovered.
Mr.
Trying to make
Feinbaum.
yeah, he trying to make excuses like they talking about they should have won. Man, please. If
Well,
it wasn't for two wheel routes, that game would have been a shutout.
Mike, I'm telling you. I mean,
Them two wheel routes was all that hurt us. They couldn't run the ball. And they've been
no,
running the ball on everybody all year.
they had no success.
None. That's why they try to pass down on the goal line because they felt they couldn't run it in.
And Caleb and Mr. Ransom, Latham Ransom, those are the two finest safeties in college football. The
Oh,
way
hands down.
they blew that sweep up, man. Man,
Hands down.
what a play. What a
And
play.
now we know that Sonny can run.
He's a
I had to
great
watch that
escort.
twice. I'm
He's a
like,
great
that,
escort.
yeah, he was
He can run that
flying.
interference.
Made
The
sure that guy didn't get it.
the one guy that could have caught Captain Jack, he was not getting past Sonny, was he?
No, Sonny, he was hitting Sonny in the back trying to get around him. Like if you don't move,
That
yeah,
was
that was funny.
that was a great play.
Yes, it
Captain
was.
Jack Sawyer.
Yeah. Captain
Well,
Jack
Mike,
needed oxygen after that one.
any predictions
Well,
on that score? What do you think that score is going to be?
I'm not a good predictor. It'll probably be I'm in the 30s. I'll
You
say
think
the
it's on the
probably,
third?
huh?
27-17. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Okay.
27-17.
Yeah, well, that sounds good
Two good
because
defensive teams.
it might come down to defense, you know.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right.
Big Mike.
Well, we got through it, Tave. I think we covered a lot.
I missed our guys, though. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry about Willie's situation. I don't know what happened to Spider.